did. You took the mouse over.
I didn't
thought you
take
were
the
gonna
mouse
start
over. I
playing.
moved the microphone so it's equal distance from both of us, and you went, oh, I guess that means everything between the microphone is now not my land anymore. Like you're fucking Simba and the light touched it wrong.
Listen,
Like, oh, the Shadowlands, we don't go there, Simba.
it's closer to you, so I thought you were gonna do it. That's all.
The monitor's closer to you. I thought you were gonna look at it.
Do we have to look at it, or
You have to look at
nobody
it.
can see us?
No, you have to look at the monitor though.
Why?
What? You're gonna leave it unmonitored?
I have another one.
Oh
Look,
my god.
you're being stared at.
Not me. That'd be creepy.
That's from
The
Shield
Legend
Hero.
of Zelda, yeah.
Oh, it's from Rising of the Shield Hero.
I don't think they have monitors in that game.
No, the picture.
The picture monitor?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Why are you exasperated?
Hello, welcome back to Mindless Prattle.
It's only been a minute.
Yeah? Come back to the intro in a
whoa.
minute?
You can't be looking at the screen. No,
Why?
I just meant
You told me to look there.
No, it's too early for you to be exasperated. That's what I'm saying.
I'm always exasperated. It's what I'm good at.
That's nice. The hell is this? Burger King's Barbie meal? I'm all about
I want to
it.
go see Barbie so badly.
Bro, it either looks like they just put pink jizz on it, or
What is that?
it's bacon bits and smoky pink sauce, a pink milkshake, and a pink donut. That's what you get
And
in
a
a
pink
meal.
donut? That sounds fun.
What the what?
I am the target audience. I don't even like Burger King.
I know, I haven't been to Burger King in years
They're
now.
expensive. I really like chicken fries though.
They're expensive?
Yeah. They've gotten pretty
What is
expensive.
it? No, they got pretty cheap chicken nuggets still, don't they?
Yeah, but I'm a plebeian. I like chicken fries.
And they used to have like 10 for $1.30 or something like that. Why would you? I don't want this. Where the price, man? The price. Where's the price? Yeah, they're $1.49 for
Is
10
that
piece.
current?
Yeah, this is what I usually get. I usually go there and order like 50 chicken nuggets
Huh.
because it's like $6 and it's good for a while. Their chicken nuggets are not the best, but there's 50 of them, so like, how can you complain?
You know what? I still like them better than Wendy's.
Wendy's?
Yeah.
Wendy's, they have okay chicken nuggets.
No offense, Wendy's. You're kind of mid.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw somebody post the other day that was like, can we talk about how nobody knows what Burger King has other than chicken fries and the Whopper? Because they have like a bunch of other stuff that they're like trying to push, but it's just not famous enough compared to their Whoppers and their chicken nuggets.
You know
Like,
who
chicken
has actually
fries
some
or
pretty
whatever.
good burgers? Carl's Jr. / Hardee's.
No, they do not.
I
no,
really
they
like their
do
chicken
not.
pineapple burger.
When is the last time you had one? When you were a kid?
No.
If it's when you were a kid.
When I was like 19.
Oh my gosh, you were still young and dumb.
It's when I was
That's how we
working at
got
Cafe
together.
Zupa's.
That's even worse. That's like what? What?
You think I'm dumb for being with you?
No,
You implied it.
I didn't imply that. It's inferred.
It's inferred. You want to know something funny?
No,
Elon Musk said Twitter's revenue is down.
I just said no.
And it's like, gee, I can't imagine why.
What are the other apps that are coming out that are like copying it now?
There was one I was on for a little while called like Hover or some
Um,
shit like that.
Didn't Facebook invent Threads?
Oh my god,
Facebook's
yeah,
new
no. Okay, so people are already mad because apparently if you make a Threads account, you can't get rid of your Threads account without deleting your Instagram. So a bunch of people joined Threads, really hated it, and wanted to cancel their accounts and couldn't because if you want to cancel your account completely on Threads, then you have to delete your Instagram account as well.
Does Facebook own Instagram?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
Meta owns it now. They bought it a few years ago.
Sure,
Made it family
whatever.
friendly.
It's Facebook. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really
So
use
you
Instagram a
can't-
lot anymore.
So they're tied together. That's fun.
Yep. I'm not really an Instagram person. Like a lot of people message me on Instagram and I'm like, I guess I'll respond because you're my friend. I'm not an Instagram person.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really go on there.
Follow me on Instagram for pictures of my cat and random selfies, and that's about it.
Yeah. I'm just scrolling through articles. Oh, speaking of, I saw an article about Texas Roadhouse.
Oh yeah.
where this mom, it's not a feel-good story.
Oh.
The mom of this kid is suing Texas Roadhouse because he apparently ordered, I forgot what he ordered. He ordered something, but he asked them supposedly like 4 or 5 times if there were any peanuts in the kitchen or like around the food that they'd be making, and they were like, no, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he died.
Oh my God. That's really bad.
Gone. His mom is suing them and trying to raise awareness for like the severity of peanut allergies, because apparently the server told the chef or something like that oh, it's not that severe, he just doesn't prefer peanuts or whatever. And I was like, who are you to decide if someone's allergic to peanuts? Like, come on, man.
Yeah, oh my God. And even like working in the food industry most of my life, like we're trained to tell everybody like, hey, there is cross-contamination of everything. We cannot guarantee this,
That was my next point that I brought up. Okay. That guy, an idiot.
Yeah.
That guy's an idiot. No, the guy that died. He's an idiot.
How old was the kid?
23.
Oh, well.
He's 23. That kid was an idiot. You know why? Because every Texas Roadhouse, you can ask for peanuts and they will give you free peanuts because they have barrels and barrels of fucking peanuts that they just give out. They're all over the restaurant. So even if there wasn't any in the kitchen, there's peanuts everywhere in like 90% of Texas Roadhouses. So I feel like part of it was on him. Like, all I'm saying, there's peanuts everywhere in that bitch.
Yeah. Just kind of shitty all around, huh? Wow. Great story to start out with.
Well, you didn't do the intro, so I had to do something to grab people's attention.
I've been so drained this week that I can't even remember anything that's happened to me. Like anything funny,
What do you mean? You don't have anything to happen to you this week?
Like I went to HEB.
What do you go to HEB for?
One of my employees is moving away for college, so I went and got them a little gift. And since we're in Texas, I got them like an HEB, like Texas scented candle.
An HEB candle?
Yeah.
Like it was said the scent of HEB?
Oh, it's HEB brand.
Oh, okay. And I was like, what the
fuck? It said it was like Texas something scent.
Oh,
and I was like, okay, like where they're going to school, they can't get HEB doesn't exist there. So I was like, a little bit of home for them and got them a nice little card. I don't really remember talking to anybody at HEB. I feel like everybody always like eyes me when I'm in the self-checkout lanes though.
Why?
I don't know. Like, I don't know if I think people think I'm odd. I don't know.
Odd how? What do you mean?
Like, I'm just kind of slow and like methodical when I put groceries away.
It's the only time that you do that, by the way. It's the only time you're actually paying attention to what you're actually doing outside of like work. I feel like that's true. If you come up with a response, you let me know.
I just really want my groceries to be a certain way.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And for them to not break when I'm coming up the stairs.
Well, when there's like new things on your keys or like, I don't know, lids flipped upside down because you put them on wrong, you're just like, oh, he must have done this earlier.
I thought you did that.
Did what?
I thought you flipped that lid upside down.
What lid?
On my medication?
Why would I do that?
Why would I do that?
I don't know. You weren't paying attention to the. You weren't paying attention because you weren't in the self-checkout, all right? Just treat everything like a self-checkout. I'll give you a little scanner gun if you want, make you feel better. A little beep.
Like I'm a child.
Beep.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. What do you mean? You were the fucking worst.
That's what I was looking at. I was like, it's only been 9 minutes.
You were the worst. You were like, oh, all of a sudden.
I can wait.
I have to pee. Wait for what? Wait on.
Make my kidneys stronger. It's fine.
Not even stronger. Like, what do you mean? You got home like half an hour ago. Did you not pee when you got home?
No, I took a shower.
Okay. Did you not pee when you got home?
No.
Why?
There was bleach in the toilet.
Yeah, I couldn't have just cleaned it.
I didn't know how long it needed to sit.
At least 6 days. Good luck.
I didn't know when you put it in there.
6 days ago. You're welcome.
You watched anything good lately?
Did I wash anything? Yeah, I washed the toilet.
Have you watched anything good?
What do you mean? We're watching the same stuff.
I know, but you gotta tell the audience about it.
Well, you tell them about it.
I don't know the names of them.
Well, you're not really watching then, are you? Describe it, and then people can guess what you're talking about.
One is something about something about a saint and magic.
Yeah, you've only seen 4 episodes of it, so maybe next time they'll put the title in there.
This woman is summoned from modern-day Japan into another world as a saint, and then I don't know, the king or whoever the fuck that summoned them like takes a look at the other girl and thinks she's really cute, so they like whisk her away to be the saint, and they basically tell the other girl to fuck off and do whatever she wants.
Yep, that's the whole plot.
And so she like cooks and makes things and has got really high magical skills because she's technically also a saint. She has all the saint powers. And then there's all these men doting on her all the time.
Crazy.
Feels like a why choose romance. I don't know yet though. Only like 4 episodes in. And then the other one is like a much better ninja show than the last one we talked about.
What was the last one?
We talked about the like ninja school one last time, where like they say like ninjas do not kill and ninjas don't do this and ninjas don't do this, and then in the end of the show the whole solution the whole time was to kill the bad guy. And also what else do ninjas do if they don't kill and deceive people?
Yeah, like they just hide behind people and gather information. Like, oh, good job, you did it.
Yeah, I don't really know the name of that one, but
I can't.
So the ninjas in this are much cooler. And this guy is called Yabimaru the Hollow. I can remember that, but I can't remember the name of the show.
Yeah. The name of the show is really far out there, though. It's some random Japanese stuff. Either that or it's called Hell's Paradise. But you know what?
It's called Hell's Paradise.
Hair's paralyzed. Your hair's paralyzed?
Your hair's paralyzed. It's called Hell's Paradise.
Also, high chair.
You know what? I do have a story. I'm angry about FedEx.
Oh, good.
I'm still angry about them.
Good.
Why do you say it like that?
I'm waiting for the story. I know the outcome, so I'm ready. Like.
Okay,
yay.
so for those of you who are not in the loop, Taylor Swift released her Speak Now, Taylor's version.
The loop.
Like.
Those of you who aren't in the cult.
A week ago now.
Yeah.
I had pre-ordered the vinyl, 3-disc, like lilac edition. I was very excited to receive this album. They ship it out. I get 2 shipping notifications from FedEx, first of all. And after the first one, it just sat in a facility for 4 days. And then they shipped it out. And it took a really long time to get here. And then it did not arrive. And it said it was delivered. And in the delivered message, they included a picture of a blurry corner of an apartment randomly somewhere with no information. Yeah, like literally nothing useful to determine what I checked all of the apartment buildings around me. Like, it was hot as fuck. It was like 104, 105 degrees that day.
I know. And you went up like 3 flights of stairs, you said?
And I had to go up and down the stairs of all these different apartment buildings, and I had
all these different ones. How
just
many
gotten
ones did you
groceries.
check? How many did you check? I want a number.
4.
4. 4 buildings or 4 sets of stairs?
4 buildings.
So how many stairs is that? Like 8?
Like 8, yeah.
Okay.
And you know, I had like change because I was in work clothes and I was all hot and sweaty because I'd worn all black and jeans and everything.
That's on you.
Because I was indoors for work. And then I had change. I was just really hot and frustrated. And then I tried to find FedEx customer support, which is nearly fucking impossible. Like they have a robot, and like the robot doesn't say anything useful. In fact, it hung up on me several times because I would say like I was having this issue, and it would be like, okay, what was your order number? And I would read the robot my little order number, you know, and then the robot said, this order was delivered. Goodbye. And it was not. So FedEx, if you're listening, you guys, I'm so upset.
I don't know why you didn't tag them in your tweet.
Because normally their bots like scour the internet, but I think they just like they suck so much they probably don't even look at those tweets.
Nah, you should. I wouldn't.
Because also from work, I've requested we're like partnered with FedEx. I requested a FedEx pickup like over a week ago, and they still haven't shown up to the point that one of my employees was like, "Do you want me to just drive this over to a FedEx?" And I'm like, "It's the principal. Like, what is going on over there?" I know UPS is going on strike, but I don't know if FedEx is a part of that. Like, maybe they are. I don't know.
FedEx? No, they're not part of UPS. Crazy.
But, you know, I'm pretty upset. And, like, I really want my album. And I sent a message to Taylor Swift's team and, like, customer service team. And they, like, sent an automated message that they're having a higher than usual amount of issues. And they'll get to us as soon as they can. So I'm wondering, like, if a lot of people are having this issue. But long story short, I, like, messed around for a while trying to get FedEx customer support. Finally got a hold of a real-life human being. And she was looking through my thing, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, that photo's not really helpful, is it?"
The photo of the wall.
Yeah,
like
the blurry photo of like a wall. And then she was like, "Well, you didn't send the package, so I can't tell you anything.
You didn't send it. You ordered it.
The seller will have to open up a case." And I was so upset. I had even told her, I was like, "I understand that like this is not your fault, but I'm really upset. Like this photo's not useful. Like I can't find any information on what I'm supposed to do. Like I went through all these steps online, and none of them are the correct steps. Like their website's a fucking mess, and like has really outdated information on it." And so then she's like, "Yeah, I'm sorry." And I literally just laughed. I said, "Thanks, have a good day," and I hung up on her. I was like,
yeah.
And then so they asked me to rate the delivery. I rated it 1 star, and it was like, "Why do you rate this delivery 1 star?" And I was like, "Because you didn't fucking deliver it." But you know, I had another package arrive that day, also delivered via FedEx, I'm pretty sure. And somehow that one managed to make it to my door. So what the fuck happened to the other one? Like, was somebody just a really big Swiftie and just decided to yank my package?
What, you're about to make yourself cry? What are you sound so sad in that last sentence, just right down.
When it happened, it was so embarrassing. Nobody else witnessed this, but it was so embarrassing because I was really hot and like I came upstairs and I like stripped all my clothes off and I was like crying and sobbing and heaving and panic attacking and
heaving.
I just like was so upset, and then I cooled down. Literally cooled down, and it was a bit better.
It was a bit.
But then I had to deal with that robot for like an hour straight. And then finally it connected me to a person, and she wasn't helpful. And a guy at a FedEx ground store tried to help me, but they weren't taking calls at that thing that he tried to help me with, so it wasn't very helpful. And it was a whole ass mess, and I'm really upset. And like, I just want my package, so hopefully Taylor's team will be able to help me, because I've heard they're pretty good at their jobs or whatever. So I'll let you guys know what happens, because I would really like this bundle.
Yeah. What do you think? Rose? Here. Rose or blue?
Blue.
Rose or blue?
Blue.
Which one's blurry? Rose or blue?
But then neither of them are blurry.
Oh, good. Your glasses work. All right. Making sure. Jumping on Amazon.
Yeah, we're podcasting.
I got bored because you left for so long.
Okay, well, tell a story then.
Tell a story. Go to my recommendations. Also, I found out why check this out. It's a ramen bowl.
Plastic chopsticks.
But Xbox. Ooh.
Xbox has branded everything.
All right. Speaking of which, look at this.
Oh my god, is that what you want on the wedding registry?
No, I already have a ton of whiskey glasses. I don't need more.
Okay. Well, you tell something.
Huh?
It's your turn.
Hold on, I gotta write down the topics for this episode. What was it? Sadness. Sadness and hot plus no vinyl for you equals upsetty spaghetti.
I am upsetty spaghetti. And I was hoping that whoever it got delivered to would be nice enough to at least take it to
You
the
went
office.
back in the fucking. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring this up again.
No, because I called the office to tell them and ask them if anybody had called.
Gosh. I thought you went over this story already.
I didn't finish all that.
What do you mean you didn't finish all that? You told me to talk about my story, but you didn't finish yours.
I remembered more.
You didn't remember more.
And I called the front office. And
no.
the guy was really helpful, and he even walked over to the apartment. And he thought they might have sent it to an accident.
Yeah.
And it wasn't there. Nobody's taken it to the office, and nobody's put it in our mail. It's not here.
God, you're trying to explain how theft works. Just get to the conclusion.
Why would they steal my vinyl though?
Why not?
Maybe they don't have a record player.
Yeah, maybe they'll just sell it on eBay. Theft. That's how that works.
It's literally widely available on Taylor's website. You don't need to sell it on eBay. It's not worth anything.
It's worth more than zero.
I spent $50 on this.
Exactly, it's worth $50 then.
So I just hope that on Monday I'll get an email response and they let me know what they can do.
Yeah, they'll be like, next time don't trust FedEx anyway.
I paid for their ground shipping. I guess I should have paid for next day air. They also said that they were like, are you this whatever specialty club menu member? And I was like, no. And I guess if you're not, they're like, go fuck yourself. We don't give a shit about you if you're not paying for the subscription.
No.
But whatever. Your turn.
Do you use Chat GPT though?
A little bit. I use it kind of like a search engine.
No, right. So people, they just came out last week or week before with their a new major update to it, right? Mm-hmm. Or evolution, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. But people were complaining to the developers, saying that it seemed like the answers that it was giving were getting dumber. So it was giving you dumber and dumber answers. Excuse me. And the developer responded by saying, actually, its collection of knowledge has increased more than most libraries on Earth combined. However, it also evolved to respond to the type of questions that is being asked by our users. So in summary, if you ask smarter questions, you'll get smarter answers. He basically said, stop asking dumbass questions.
Yeah, I mean,
and you won't get dumb answers.
I've used Chat GPT for novel writing. Like I said, I use it like a search engine.
Yeah.
So I have a few searches saved, like archaic words. I've asked it about archaic words that go with my thing. I've asked it to describe what an Arabic marketplace might look like, what type of scents and sounds you might see in a place like that, because I based a world in my book on that type of setting, but I've never been there myself, so I wanted to make sure I was being accurate in my descriptions. And then I've asked it what type of stuff I should include in a recommendation letter, because I've had employees ask me to write recommendation letters, but I was like, I'm not really sure what they might
some
mean.
of my coworkers have done that too.
Yeah, I was it was for academic things, and I was like, okay, I really like this person and they're really good at their job, but I'm not quite sure how that translates to academics. So I asked what different type of things I should note on, and just tailored it around that. But I think it really, kind of like you said, it really just depends on what questions you're asking, because I'm asking it questions based on knowledge I already have, and I'm asking it to help me evolve my train of thought. But if I've seen a lot of people just
draw
use
me
it.
a picture, it's just gonna be here's a stick figure, moving on.
Well,
it's trying to save its processing.
Or I've seen people say
power,
oh, can you do this for me? And then they'll just copy and paste it. They don't do any editing to make sure that it flows well and sounds right for their audience. A lot of people are using it because they don't want to do the work.
It's just dumb people asking dumb questions and get dumb answers. If you ask an intelligent question.
Well, sometimes you'll ask it a question and it'll somewhere in the middle it'll be as I am an AI, I cannot comment on this because of this.
But
people aren't reading it.
Yeah, that's a different issue. That's not it giving you a dumb answer. That it's giving you an answer that it's programmed to give.
But
that's
I guess
not a dumb answer. Though.
I don't have that problem, so maybe I'm asking the right kinds of questions.
I saw a clip of that guy. What's his name? The one who made Game of Thrones.
Oh,
yeah, that guy. So
George.
Yeah.
Something.
George Decay. And
no.
I saw his clip and he was like, they have when I first started out writing, there's a rule that when you're writing, because
George R.R. Martin. Sorry, you were saying?
Oh, am I talking? Crazy.
My bad.
Everyone knew. We all knew that already. Just ruining things. Anyway, he was saying that because it's there's no visual aspect to books, and the pages, you'll get readers are dumb and they'll get confused if you name two characters with the same letter that starts their name. They'll get confused especially if you don't use one or the other for a little while, because they have to remember it all in their head instead of being able to put the name to a face on TV or movies or whatever. And he goes, I followed that rule for 2 or 3 books, and then I started writing Game of Thrones and went, well, fuck, I'm gonna have more than 26 characters, and I'm definitely not naming someone like X-Ray, so guess I'm throwing that rule out the window.
I know, because he has Bran and Braun.
Yeah, he just started naming the same people. He's like, yeah, fuck it. He just forgot that rule altogether. He's like, it's good to start out with, I guess, but
although
whatever.
I've noticed I trend towards picking S names.
Yeah, I know, because you're like, it's Elvish and fun.
It's like S names.
Like what?
Like in my book, I have 2 characters. One's named Savannah and one is named Sebastian. But I didn't realize I had done that. And then I was like, well, I already like those names.
I really like those.
They're very different characters, so. Are you looking at poet jokes?
Yeah, what?
Well, so on the
Didn't I not tell you stop looking at my stuff?
On the AI topic, though, did you know that Google is letting AI train itself using everybody's Google Docs?
Yeah, why would they not? You sign an agreement when you sign up for anything Google that says, hey, you can use my information to make your own stuff smarter.
Well, I didn't, because that didn't exist when I was there.
What do you mean that didn't exist when you were there?
That's all new.
No, dude, they update terms of services.
Nobody reads the terms of services.
They fucking it sucks for a lot of people then. But yeah, that's what every company does. What do you mean? Every
but there are certain things that
they can monitor your shit. Every one of them.
But then you can't reasonably expect certain things, So
what are you reasonably expecting?
That your private documents stay private.
It's not private. It's a document that you're hosting on their server. How is that private in any way?
I guess
it's by definition, it's their information that they are storing. You just are making it for them.
Well,
yeah.
I try not to use it for a lot. So
same thing with Microsoft. They will automatically enroll you in Microsoft OneDrive. It will store all your information as a backup on their servers. It's just them collecting your information. It's a backup. The only reason I use it is because I have 2 computers, one here and one for work, and I need to transfer the files, and I just like keeping them on their server anyway.
A lot of people I know, are writers, are just worried about the plagiarism aspect.
From Google?
Yeah, from people are using
Chat
AI
GPT
to write books. Yeah, people are using fucking Chat GPT to write books for them.
And here
they're not very
you are,
good books.
still slaving away like a chump.
So I want to create something worthwhile.
Yeah, not quickly, but worthwhile.
I'm creating it as quickly as I can.
You're getting upset, wait.
Because it's my brain. It's very personal.
Your brain's personal now?
Yeah.
I don't understand this. All right, every time you use it, it shoves its way out into the world. How's that personal to you?
What do you
You're just
mean?
putting it on display for everyone. Yeah, see that face? That came from your brain, and then you put it on display for everyone to see.
Shut up. Remember Inside Out?
No.
Bing bong, bing bong.
I don't trust stairs. They're always leading up to something.
Yeah, I bet you don't.
Okay, what? I bet you.
I'm not gonna laugh at your dad jokes. I would win the competition.
Okay.
You got another one?
Wait, you want me? I don't know. Oh man. Well, this one's fun because it involves death. Ready?
Sure.
What was that delay? Were you had to think about if you were ready or not?
I was disassociating.
Yeah, that's nice. We'll come back tomorrow when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Are you?
Yeah.
All right. Why don't pirates take a bath before they walk the plank?
No.
They just wash up on shore.
That one's silly.
You laughed. I win.
Drinking competition. Who can drink the most water in this fucking heat?
You do need to drink more water.
My pee was clear, just so you know.
Yeah, that's because I put bleach in there earlier.
That means I'm hydrated.
Or you've been drinking too much alcohol. One or the other.
That doesn't make any sense.
What do you mean?
If I was dehydrated, it'd be yellow.
You okay?
I don't get your comment about
fine.
alcohol. Would it be because I'd be peeing out vodka?
Did you hear about the kidnapping at school?
No.
It's okay. The teacher just woke him up.
Did you hear about the actual kidnapping?
Doing math?
No, this woman was driving down the highway. I think she was from Florida. I don't remember. I can look it up. But she was driving down the highway and stopped to help a kid that she saw on the highway alone, like a 2-year-old or some shit. She said, and she was on the phone with somebody, and then all of a sudden she screamed and the line went dead, and then she was missing for 2 days.
She was missing, or the kid?
She was missing. Yeah, she was taken. Her car was found running. And
so she pulled over on the phone with someone about a kid, and then she screamed, and no one found her.
yeah, somebody took her.
The kid?
No.
Did they find the kid? What are you talking about?
Just let me finish the story.
Your story doesn't add up here. So she's driving down the highway, sees a kid on the side of the road, pulls over, calls 911, screams into the phone, and then she goes missing?
Oh, yeah, no, she didn't call 911. It was she was an Alabama nursing student. Her name was Carly. She saw a toddler alone on the interstate and pulled over to help her, and she was on the phone with her friend or something, and she screamed, and all of a sudden the line went dead. Like a friend, and she pulled over, was like, wow, there's a kid here. She went out to check on the kid and see what's going on, and then the line went dead after she screams. She was missing for 2 days, and then I guess she was dropped off at her apartment randomly, apparently in shock. And the police have taken her to the hospital. They said she's okay, but I guess there was such a huge media presence around this, and so many people began tweeting about it and stuff. They think that it probably scared whoever took her, that used the kid to bait them, because that's actually really common now. Is women and children being used to bait people for sex trafficking.
So a second car pulled up and was like, "Oh, that's my kid. Both of you get in my car." What are you talking about?
No, nobody knows. They haven't fucking interviewed her yet.
When was this?
It was found on Saturday, so literally this past weekend. That's when it happened.
Yesterday or this past weekend?
Yeah, this past weekend. She was found yesterday.
All right. Reported a toddler walking on the highway. She made a 911 call on Wednesday, so she was on the phone with 911 to report she saw a toddler walking.
This one says she was on the phone with her brother's girlfriend.
Stopped the car, to check on, and called a family member to report what she saw. The family member lost contact with her. The line remained open, according to police.
Yeah, this one says, as she pulled over on the night she disappeared, she was on the phone with her brother's girlfriend. The nursing student told her over the phone that she was getting out of her car to check up on the child. The girlfriend heard a sudden scream and lost all contact with Russell. In a clip from the highway, her car is seen moving to the right lane. After a while, the footage is lit up in the blue lights as police attend the scene where her empty car was found. When officers arrived at the location, they found her car along with her cell phone, purse, wig, and Apple Watch in the nearby area.
Oh no, they left her wig. Oh,
That's quite
she
fucking
did.
rude.
She did.
But Russell and the child she claimed to have spotted were nowhere to be seen. They are now using the footage to help analyze what happened to the woman after she got out of her vehicle on Thursday. But there's not. It doesn't really show any other vehicles or anything like that on the video, so they don't really have a lot to go on. But a lot of people think that because so many people cared about this online and like put a lot of pressure on it, that whoever took her got scared and just dropped her off. But I guess we don't know.
I really want where's the toddler at?
Yeah, that sucks for them. Like.
Yeah, it sucks for the kid.
But I think a lot of people don't know that like slavery is at an all-time highest record like in history.
I just love your stories of like, here's a real world issue I'm gonna bring down with.
Sorry.
Did you see the other day several people raped and murdered? All right, man, it's cool.
I didn't mean to make it all depressing.
I think it's your tone most of the time. You just take everything so seriously and then relate it to some other real world issue. Like, yeah, she got kidnapped. Slavery's at an all-time high. Is it? Like, what?
God, I'm sorry. I
right.
do that in real life too. Yeah. Not just in this podcast.
This is real life. Like,
what's your favorite dumb movie?
I'm sorry. I'm working up. I'm looking at the current slavery population.
Oh.
Let's see. Is it at an all-time high? We'll find out after this short commercial break. I don't know. What the fuck is it? UN. All right. What's the UN reporting? Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
Research ain't what it used to be.
What did it used to be?
I don't know if it doesn't pop up on the first page of Google. Does it exist?
Does it exist?
I'm already excited for dinner.
Why? What's for dinner?
I don't know. You just got a bunch of stuff out, and that's exciting.
Let's see. Why is this doesn't help me. None of this is helping me. Slaves taken. Yep, that would be close. Almost. Oh, shut up. Don't ask me about cookies. Damn, Portugal, why are you taking so many people? Oh no, they want me to pay to have information? No wonder we're getting dumber. I found the current number is estimated to be just under 50 million people in slavery. They're also counting in those numbers to the 22 million people that are living in a forced marriage. Interesting. Who knew? That's all right.
That's pretty bad. That's like the shit that scares me. Is like it's pretty bad in Texas and in Nevada. But like.
No, I don't need the history of slavery, but thank you, Wikipedia.
No, at least they covered that in school, right? Not all of it. Like, the things I've learned since school ended about slavery and the way people were treated after.
Just like Europeans in the age of their exploration was just the worst. Like if you didn't hate Columbus, I have a fun story.
Yeah. I already do, but tell me more.
It was his second or third expedition. Him and his crew were about to leave the Americas to go back across the ocean, but they didn't have enough food. So what they did was he went and asked the local tribe or local natives for some of their food. And apparently the natives said, we only grow enough to sustain us until the next crop. So they didn't have any surplus of food, right? Now Columbus, being the navigator and the astronomer and all that, he knew that in 7 days there was going to be a lunar eclipse. So what he did was he went back to these natives and he said, if you don't give me food for my journey back, my God is better than your God, and he's gonna turn the moon red. You have 7 days to give me food. And 7 days later, when the moon turned red, they gave him all of their food. There's no record of him ever finding that tribe again. So I doubt they survived the winter.
That's so depressing.
Yeah, it went back. Nailed it.
And the government's still doing it to tribes today.
Don't worry, they have Columbus Day.
I don't celebrate that.
Columbus Day. No,
don't some people celebrate Indigenous Peoples Day instead of that?
I don't know. The best way to celebrate Columbus Day, though, is to go to your neighbor's house, walk in, poison them, take their food, and claim their house as your own.
Sounds like the Purge.
Sounds like Columbus Day. I've been listening to a lot of archaeology and ancient civilization studies.
Really?
Recently. Why is that surprising?
I just didn't know you were into that.
Well, thanks. Normally, I only listen to graphic porn on the subway, but this year I thought I'd venture out. Anyway, there was a Spanish explorer. I forget his name, but he was one of the first people to come through the Amazon. He made it all the way from the East Coast through the entire 200 miles of the Amazon River to the west side, returned home, and wrote reports and stories about these huge societies and civilizations and buildings and temples that he found in the Amazon. And a decade later, when they started sending more explorers there, they couldn't find them. They couldn't find any civilizations. They couldn't see anywhere in there. They couldn't find any people. So they wrote it off as this explorer was lying to become famous. Right? And now, because nowadays, fast forward a little bit, due to the deforestation and the unearthing of a lot of it, in the areas that he originally reported there were civilizations, we've recently found the foundations of giant cities and buildings and things that lined up with his report. And their best theory is that after he came through and reported that all these people were here, that they inadvertently gave all of those colonies and civilizations smallpox and killed them all before the next expedition came to look at them.
Jesus.
Yup. I was like, that's crazy, dude.
I don't like the world. I just want another cat.
I don't like the world. Did you see that recently? Actually, I don't know if it was recent or not, but North Korea. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, you brought it up. North Korea recently confiscated all of the country's dogs and cats, and nobody knows where they went. And supposedly what they claimed was, or what their leaders claimed was, that befriending and owning animals is a Western ideology and they were no longer going to follow it. So they confiscated everyone's pets in the entire country. I have a theory, because they're also, most of their countries, living in extreme poverty. How much you want to bet there's some new nutrient bars going around that country? What's wrong? You gotta respond.
No, I watched this interview with this lady who escaped from North Korea the other day, and she was talking about how they spend all year farming, right? And every single thing they farm goes to the government, and they're forced to survive on crickets. And she said that in the springtime and stuff that they eat a lot of plants, but that in the summer a lot of the plants become poisonous and they're not edible. And so they can't eat any of that stuff because it's too dangerous for them to know what's safe and what's not. And so you said that, and immediately I was like, they're fucking eating those dogs.
Yeah, dude, they're putting that back.
That makes
in
me
the
so
population.
sad. I guess at least people will have something to eat, but it's just awful.
I don't even know if they're gonna
give
it to them to eat like that. Jeez, I think we brought it up on a previous episode, but I saw a picture and it was North Korea would be a much bigger threat if their leader wasn't overweight, and it was regular Kim Jong-un versus skinny Kim Jong-un, and he looked so much more intimidating.
I don't really get the country model. Like, you have to pretend that all your people are happy and smiley to the rest of the world while you and the select few are fat and happy, but everybody else in your country's ugly and known for hatred and violence and disturbing things. Like,
yeah, but they have the internet now.
Yeah, like all 5 leaders or whatever.
No, they have anyone can apparently go on the internet.
Yeah, I saw that video of them on the internet.
No, there's only one internet provider in North Korea who have access to 3 websites, all of them run by the government. One of them is like the history of the country. One of them is like death to America or Western culture. And then the third one is just like comply with all laws. Like those are the 3.
You know, and it's like, I bet, like, I don't know, maybe I'm just idealistic, but I feel like if any of these leaders came out and they were like they wanted their country to be different and to be successful, they could go and partner with a country like China helps them, right? And like America dropships food to them. Like partner with another country and be like, we're done with this shit, you know? Like we want our country to be the best and the brightest at everything. You know, I just don't get it. I saw this video of this little girl in like some Middle Eastern country the other day. I guess like they recently banned like women going to school. And she was just going on and on about how men are terrible and men are the problem and men are violent and how like if they sent women and girls to school, they would solve everything because they're not violent and wouldn't kill people.
Sorry, go ahead.
That's it. That's it.
Okay. Were you the one that showed me that video or the tweets of that woman who believes that as women get older, their opinion means less and less, like their value?
Yeah, we talked about her. She did that interview on the H3 podcast.
Where she was like making an argument, and the guy just sitting across was like, by your own logic, you no longer have any value, and your opinion means nothing. So why are you even talking out loud?
And if you watch,
why are you even tweeting anything anymore?
The full interview is a lot longer, and like he came prepared, you know, like he had facts and stuff to back him up. But as the interview goes on, you can just see her like you know that like doing the math white lady like gif that was really popular for a while. It's like you can see that happening to her where she's like so close to realizing the point.
She's like, no, I'm right. And you're like, no, you're not. By your own logic, your opinion means literally less than nothing because you're old. It was so funny.
We talked about it on the podcast, but just by her own logic, any guy that settles for her is a loser, so she can only date losers. And her values mean nothing. That's just terrible to me. Like, how can you hate yourself that much?
Did you see the theory?
No, which one?
Topics. About the Sphinx. How they're like, if you actually look at pictures, you've seen pictures of it, like actual pictures, not like the animations or whatever, right? And for a long time, there's been a lot of restoration work and stuff going on with it. But looking at it, some archaeologists came up with this idea, and they're trying. I think they're still trying to prove it. I'm not sure. But the theory is that the Egyptians didn't build the Sphinx, because all the water erosion and the samples that they've taken around, like the temple, shows that it was built around 11,600 years ago, which is almost 5,000 years before the Egyptians, before the ancient Egyptians that were building things. So like, there's no way that they would. Why would they build it so far back in time? 11,600 years ago is ridiculous. And at that point in time, they were worshiping a different set of gods that they claimed walked among them. And at the time that it was built, during the period that the Earth was facing, the constellation that was in the sky was a lion. Like the Sphinx directly faced, or used to directly face a lion constellation. I don't know if it's the same one, but it was referred to as a lion constellation, right? So their theory now is that the Egyptians, when they showed up 5,000 years after it was built, saw this giant statue of a lion and then carved a human face out of the lion, and that's why the human face is so much smaller compared to proportionally to the rest of the body, because it doesn't look natural.
They're like, we'll just fix this.
They carved, they said more than likely it was a statue of a dog or a lion, more likely a lion, because then the proportions would match up to the rest of the body and where it was facing when it was built. was like, that's cool. Dumb Egyptians were just like, you know what? Human face.
I wonder who built the lion then.
So, there's also a big like thing with archaeologists, and where the country of Egypt, their government does not allow a lot of information to leave the country or to be released to the public. There's beneath the Sphinx, there's a series of tunnels and chambers. One of them leads over to like the pyramids and things like that, right? And apparently you go like 3 stories deep on this this tunnel underneath the Sphinx. And I was looking at this video where this guy was there with one of the tour guides or one of the government officials. And they were like, "Oh, what's down that way?" And he goes, "Oh, we've never explored down that way." And they're like, "Well, why not?" And they're like, "Oh, it's closed off." And the government had put up a cinder block wall blocking off that tunnel from the rest of the area that they were showing these archaeologists. And they're like, "Yeah, the government will insist on their dying breath that no one's ever been down that tunnel, but yet for some reason they blocked it off with cinder blocks." They're like, "We don't know why. We don't know who's in there, but I don't know."
You know what? They better leave them alone.
Crazy.
Just stop messing with the ancient dead Egyptian things. Like,
well, that was the other thing too. Is their theories that the Egyptians didn't build the pyramids, because there are no like the buildings around the pyramids and the buildings nearby all have hieroglyphs and they tell stories about moving like giant statues and things, but all of their like abilities are laid out in hieroglyphs, and it doesn't add up with how the pyramids were constructed. The stones were just too heavy to be moved in the same way that they moved these statues and built the buildings around the pyramids. But they also noted that there's not a single hieroglyph in any of the pyramids. They haven't found any Egyptian mummies in any pyramids. They've not once found any pharaohs or head dressings or anything besides just like some gold and some artifacts. They haven't found mummies. They haven't found hieroglyphs. Like, there hasn't been anything resembling ancient Egypt inside the pyramids other than the pyramids are in Egypt.
so what's the point of the pyramids then?
Who knows?
You know what? These are the things that make me realize I'm conscious and I don't like it.
All right. Someone was like, I'm pretty sure it was like an ancient. I watched some other video, and it was the difference between that first video of like, here's all these facts, and then this random guy yelling about a conspiracy theory was super funny. Because like the facts, I was like, all right, those are facts. Conspiracy theory was super funny because he's just like, yeah, I'm pretty sure, like 99% sure that aliens built the pyramids. Here's why. And he's like, he was comparing the Egyptian standard cubit to the modern meter, and then divided it by like how they measured, how they get the actual measurement for a meter. And then he's like, you want to know what's interesting about all this? And like, I don't remember how he got from like A to B, but then he was like, and C, thirdly. I was like, what does that mean? He's like, if you were to write out the speed of light in meters per second and then plug it in as the coordinates in Google Earth, it will take you to the top of the Great Pyramid of Giza.
That's weird.
I know, right?
Why?
I don't know.
You know what though? Okay, so there's an episode of Criminal Minds where it's about conspiracy theorists in this particular episode. I mean, if you don't know, Criminal Minds is a show where they try to stop serial killers. So in this episode, somebody had killed a conspiracy theorist and they were trying to figure out why. But this guy admits to like being a fake conspiracy theorist, and he was like, all you have to do to get people to believe whatever theory you're making up or get them to change their mind a little bit is to start with the question, isn't it interesting how? And then state 2 vaguely related things that have nothing to do with each other.
Yeah, but
you can connect them.
Yeah.
And you just have to ask, isn't it interesting? I'm not saying that, but isn't it interesting?
I still think I guarantee I've said it before. My favorite thing to do is just, someone comes at you with any conspiracy theory that you don't agree with, or you do and you just want to fuck with them, either way. Just go back at them with an even crazier theory. Like, if someone, the classic example is, I don't know if it's relevant today, I haven't heard much from this group of people, while. But there used to be the people, or they probably still are, that were like, oh, the moon landing was fake. Right?
Yeah.
So if anybody comes up and they're like, or you're talking with someone and they just mention it, and they're like, man, that moon landing is fake. You can tell for this, this, and this. Just come back at them and be like, what are you talking about? You believe in the moon? Go off on your own fucking tangent.
The moon's a holographic projection
What
that
are
they
you
put in the
talking
sky to make us feel more at ease with our government overlords.
Mm-hmm. They needed to explain why the oceans move, obviously. I also
Do you
read,
have favorite conspiracies?
I like theories. I don't know if some of them might be conspiracies, but I like to at least think that a lot of them are based in sort of facts, or at least science to some degree. Like the theory of why megalodons went extinct, but sharks are still around, even though sharks are the same age as when the megalodons were still alive. So like megalodons and great white sharks lived at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Great white sharks survived and megalodons did. And the leading theory right now is that the ocean levels dropped during the last ice age to a point where the megalodons couldn't sustain themselves on the food that was left and died out. So what happens is during the ice age, all of the fresh water is what freezes first. When the fresh water freezes, all that's left is that salt water, but there's no fresh water mixing with it, so the salt water becomes saltier and doesn't freeze. So the less things can survive in that saltier water, so it's less microorganisms, less plankton, less like medium fish that eat the plankton, less big fish that eat the little fish, and less megalodons that eat the big fish. So there's just that theory that like the smallest things like stood by and like could squeeze by eating less food. Megalodons just couldn't sustain themselves on the amount of food that was left until the fresh water started melting again.
Can you imagine being the last of your species?
Yeah, it'd be so peaceful. Isn't there a TV show about that? It's like The Last Man on Earth or something.
I don't know.
And then
I've
it's
seen
like
I Am
episode
Legend.
2. Yeah, and then it's like episode 2, and then a woman shows up. And you're like, well, that defeats the whole show, doesn't it? Guess we're done.
I don't know. How long do you think you could go without human interaction?
And not go. You could go for a while, but you'd turn crazy in a little while.
I mean, if I had animals, I think I could do it.
You would start talking to animals pretty quick. I mean,
I already talked
you
to
talk to
them.
animals now. That's you talk to them now, so it's kind of like.
I also personify like inanimate objects, though.
Yeah.
Talk to a volleyball. Why not?
You have volleyball. Just start acting out your own play.
I bet I could play a lot of video games. I'd have to figure out how to keep the electricity hooked up, but.
And the internet.
And also, wouldn't like a bunch of
Running
nuclear
water.
reactors melt down and stuff?
Yeah, like that's part a lot of people don't look at too, is like when like if everyone were to die and you were the only one left, you would be without power within a day or two. There's not like some magical reserve at the power plant that's going to you. Like it's going away. Like, they don't have, you know what I mean?
What would you
Like, the
do
power's
if
gonna go
society
out.
failed suddenly?
The water, as soon as the water goes out, like you're not gonna have water anymore. Like you're gonna have to go start immediately looking for ways to make fire and stay warm. Not right now because it's like 110 degrees outside, but you know what I mean.
We'd have to like find like a cabin in the woods near a lake.
You're like, you have to learn to go fishing or hunting. Like, you'd have to learn some new skills if you don't have them already.
I think I could survive. I think a lot of it is about willpower, though.
Willpower.
Yeah.
I saw a study, I don't know if it was a study, maybe it was a survey result, where they asked people, they gave them like lists of animals, and was like, which one would you be able to beat in a fight? Like, could you beat this duck in a fight? Could you beat this fish in a fight? Like, and then it increased in difficulty of like the animal.
Mm-hmm.
And like most Europeans stopped around, what was it, like larger mammals. They were like, oh, a black bear. And they were like, most Europeans said no, they wouldn't win a fight with a black bear, which is a reasonable assumption. Most Americans said that they would win a fight with a black bear and win a fight with like a honey badger. And
God, honey
it was
badgers
like,
scare me.
it was like 38% said that they would win against a grizzly bear. And I I was like, you're not winning anything against a grizzly bear. And it went all the way up to like polar bears.
Aren't you supposed to like yell at
gosh.
grizzly bears if you can't get away from them?
No. Well, if you can't get away, yeah. Like try and make yourself as big as possible.
And then I've seen
Same
people
with
say
black
you should
bears,
climb up a
but-
tree, but I think that's a really bad decision. Don't bears climb trees?
Yeah, bears are great climbers.
So then you shouldn't do
Why
that,
would you?
right?
No, if it's a black bear, you should definitely fight it.
What's that saying? Isn't there something about bears?
Yeah, if it's black, fight back. If it's brown, lie down. If it's white, you're fucked.
Hopefully I will
Polar
never...
bears do not fuck around.
You know what's my
dude.
favorite fact about polar bears?
Hmm.
Their fur is clear.
It is.
It just reflects the sunlight.
It does. Otherwise, they would be real fucking hot all the
Doesn't
time.
that sound scary?
No.
There are clear bears on the
Yeah,
planet
they're-
Earth.
They're not clear. Their skin is black.
Is it?
Hmm. Have you ever seen a shaved polar bear? Hold
No,
on.
it
Let me
sounds
pull up
scary.
a picture of a shaved polar bear.
Okay, I'll look at a picture.
Surprise! It's a dick pic. No. Look, this is a shaved polar bear.
Oh my god,
It's
that
a-
looks like a nightmare
It's
creature.
black. Yeah, like this is before.
Poor
Like, their
guy.
skin is black. Their fur is just so good at reflecting light that they look light. They're black skinned bears.
That's interesting.
Like,
The more you know.
Mhm.
Reading
Have you-
rainbow.
But like you can see why, like bear size comparison. Like you can see why, like black bears, you could get away with it.
I could not
But-
find a black bear.
Brown and grizzly bears,
8
You-
feet?
you need brown and grizzly bears. You should lie on the ground and pretend to be dead. Polar bears, good luck. Like polar bears attack. Polar
Okay,
bears
so
are the only.
realistically, like if you ever come across like a black bear, like a brown bear, or a grizzly bear, you need to have like a gun to win, right?
No, bear mace is more
Bear mace.
effective.
Guns are not effective against bears?
Not unless you have a high caliber.
Are they that thick?
You need at least, I think it's like a 10 mil.
Oh my
out there.
God.
But like if you're carrying a 9 mil or lower, it's not gonna do anything. It's fine. But black bears, brown bears, and grizzly bears are not aggressive towards humans unless you threaten their territory or they're young. Polar bears, if they see you, they will try to eat you. Like polar bears are
aggressive.
Polar bears are aggressive because they're like, oh fuck, food. I don't know when the next food's walking along. I'm gonna eat this thing.
Honey
Oh, yeah.
badgers are also scary.
Like what was that? It said bear comparison. Oh, hold on. Bear size comparison to gorilla. Grizzly bears generally outweigh gorillas. Huh. Alright. Male gorillas are 450 pounds and 5.5 feet tall, but grizzly bears are 607 feet tall. Interesting.
Yeah, when I do it, it's a problem.
You
Nobody tells a grizzly bear to lose weight.
Yeah. You see that there was a gorilla in what zoo was it? Like a New Jersey zoo that they rescued, but the gorilla was depressed because the previous like owners had taken out his canines, like their big teeth,
Really?
the ones that like signify that they're like dominant males and can find a mate. So he was like depressed.
He got emasculated.
Yeah, and so I saw this video of, do you know who Bert Krishner is? The
No.
comedian? He's a comedian. He was telling a story. He's like, yeah, I was talking to the handlers, and they were telling me this story about the gorilla, not grizzly, about the gorilla and how they took out his teeth and all this. And he said, I bet I can make him laugh. And he did like a couple of jokes. And the gorilla laughed like twice, and they were like, "Holy shit, you made a gorilla laugh!" And he's like, "This is the best moment of my career," and like walked off.
That's
I
funny.
was like, "That's good."
What joke did he tell?
I don't know. I don't know that it was like predicted. Like, oh no, he said he was just making gorilla noises, and then the
Gorilla's like, silly human.
the gorilla just was like, "Oh yeah, fuck it. I guess I'll laugh."
He said, thanks for trying, bud. Give you a laugh or two. Why did nobody give him replacement teeth?
I don't know. Replacement teeth.
Drug him and give him a new tooth.
And give him a new tooth.
I need to go to the dentist.
That same little video. I saw apparently a zoo in Thailand lets you go in and pet tigers.
Oh no.
So what they do is the little baby tigers, like the newborns to like 2 months old, you can go in and mess with them and just play around because they're they're basically little kittens and they'll just play with you, right? 1-year-old tigers, you can go in the cage, but they have a staff that is trained to that stands around, and they basically prod off the tigers with big sticks to make sure that they don't get too close to people. And then there's a third cage with the adult, fully adult tigers, and you can go in and pet them. They're super calm. And they were this video was you know why those adults are super fucking calm? The guest, he was I don't know, they too much exercise from dumb people trying to pet them. He goes, no, because when they're cubs, they can't do anything, so they just let you pet them. When they're teenagers, they're not big enough yet, so they have to give them exercise, otherwise they won't age properly. But then when they're adults, they just drug the shit out of them.
Do they really?
Make them so that they're so he showed videos in it. He's yeah, look, they can barely lift up their heads. They're not a danger to anyone, but they're also not really living.
That's so terrible.
Yeah, I was God damn, Thailand, what are you doing?
They used to do that in the United States. When I was a kid, there's a picture of me and my sister holding baby tigers, not baby tigers, baby lions.
Yeah.
And looking at it as I got older, I was man,
did you go to
that's so not great.
What was that documentary a few years ago? Joe Exotic or whatever.
Oh,
Did you go to his place?
No.
Get some tigers?
But where I grew up, there's a place called the Holly Wild Zoo.
Yeah.
And it's famous zoo, animals, animals that have started movies and things like that. There's been a few fires and stuff there, but it was always really cool. And then I've been to the San Francisco Zoo once. Or San Diego Zoo.
The San Diego, the zoo is kind of boring. But the San Diego, the San Diego Wild Animal Park, that's exciting. I'll tell you why it's exciting, because when I was in elementary school, I think, they had our parents sign a permission slip to have us go sleep for a night in the middle of the wild animal preserve.
Really?
And when we got there, when we got there, they were yeah, you're going to be sleeping here in this little campground. It's in between the enclosures, right? The wild animal park, it's not a regular zoo enclosure. They're it's like a safari. They have wide open plains that these animals can go run and live on. So you have to drive through it in a safari truck in order to see them most of the time. But in the middle of it, there's a fenced off area in between some of the enclosures where there's a campground. They're all right, we're going to be sleeping here tonight in tents. And we were okay. We're what are they doing over there? And they were oh, that's the tiger enclosure. We're okay, what are they doing though? And he's oh yeah, we had to, we're in the middle of installing a taller fence because the tigers kept jumping over the last one. We're what are you talking about? They're jumping over the fence. We're sleeping here? And he was yeah, they learned how to jump over the 20-foot fence. So now we're installing a 30-foot fence. And I was oh my God, it's so tall. It was so tall already. I was and this was little me. And I was how do they get over that? And they're they just climb it and get over it. I was what the fuck?
Tigers are scary.
I was you guys need a roof. You don't need another wall. What?
Talk about an apex predator.
Yeah, and we were what's that one then? And we pointed over to the other enclosure, which still had the 20-foot wall. And he's oh, that's where the lions live. And we're do they need a bigger fence too? And he's no, lions don't climb as much as tigers do. And we're oh, thank goodness.
They're too lazy to climb.
Yeah, that's what he said. He's no, they climb trees, but they don't climb the fence. I'm not yet. So we're sleeping there. Middle of the night, you hear any animal, you wake up and you're is it the tigers? Are they here? We're about to die.
Well,
You all right? You look like you're tired over there.
I am pretty tired.
Tired? You haven't done nothing today.
It worked. It's a long day.
No.
Sorry for the late cast.
That is true. We didn't mention that at the beginning.
Sorry.
Some difficulties this morning. Could not upload things. But here we are, so it's all good.
Thanks for listening with your ears today.
Or your eyes. I don't know how your setup is.
Yeah.
Maybe you changed your control screen.
I don't judge.
I did.
Hey. Some people can't hear good, and some people can't read good.
I don't read too fast.
What does that mean?
But that's true. I took remember I took that
yeah.
like a reading test and I entered the wrong number and it was like, you're in the 24th percentile of reading ability. And it was like, your average reading is like 18 words per minute. I'm like, fuck.
That's so funny. I love it because like if we're trying to watch something together, I'll be like done reading and I'm just like, come on, waiting for you to laugh, you know.
Well, if it's like a long article, yeah, because usually what happens is if I'm looking at something on my phone or a long article, I'll start reading too fast and then I'll end up skipping a line. I'm like, fuck, I go back because my eyes move down too far onto the next line, you know? I'm like, ah, shit.
You'll learn how to speed read.
But I do agree. People who don't like subtitles just read slow.
Yeah, I like subtitles a lot. And you can always hear extra dialogue.
My issue is that sometimes things are not translated correctly and I'm like, definitely not what they said. Like some of them,
it really changes the meaning.
Some of them they just change it to whatever it would like mean in English, like if it's Japanese especially, and I'm just like, that doesn't make sense. Like it makes sense in the English conversation, but like why would you say that in this like context of this conversation? You know, I'm like, I don't think so. But who knows? That's gonna do it for Sleepy Ripley and the gang. We're gonna
Yeah, thank you for listening. We're gonna skedaddle. Done prattling mindlessly.
I thought you would rhyme it, but you just kind of stopped, so.
Done prattling. At home rattling.
Now you're just trying too hard.
I'm tired. Leave me alone.
How can you be tired? See, now this is me taking notes.
Good job.
Look, we can do the call chat. Perfect.
Perfect. All right.
I hope y'all have fun. I know I did. See you next time.
Bye.